Well, hello. We've made it to the end. This is day 27 of our COVID-19 Leader A to Z. Like many of my projects in my life, I kind of start off with a big idea and not quite a clear idea of where I'm going to end up. And this has been like that. It's been an incredible thing to do for me. It's given me a lot of focus and purpose over the last kind of month and a half, which is really important at the moment. I've had days when I've done videos and started again. I've had days where I can't stop yawning. Cue a yawn because of saying the word. I've had days when I've had to talk about something that I didn't really particularly know, but chose for the letter. I've had days where I've had to try and rein in how much I'm talking about something because it's so familiar. It's been a real pleasure to have both John and Genevieve appear as guests, Lily a couple of times as well, the dog running around, and it's just been a really fantastic way to explore something which I know I love. It's given me a lot of fire in my belly to find out more, and also it's been really enjoyable to make content in this way. You know, I really enjoy just sharing the passion of this sort of music, and so I hope it's been enjoyable. I hope it's been informative, and thanks very much for those handful of people who have watched all the way through. I know because I get your comments or your likes or your shares, so really thank you so much. It really does mean a lot, and it's been nice to know that I'm not just talking into a camera in the corner of my music room, but that at least someone is listening. So here we are. It's day Z, and before I perform, before I perform that song, I thought I might just talk a little bit about kind of perspective about where we began, and we spoke about what is leader, and I guess I wanted just to reflect a little bit about how I'd answer that question maybe differently now. So I remember I said that leader is a setting of a poem, an existing poem, to music by a classical composer, basically. But having revisited all of these amazing works, and also having started to open up the door on some new composers for myself, I think that it's just so easy just to answer the question of what is leader. Well, they're just songs. They are just songs. They just happen to be in German. And the reason that I love them so much is because the German classical musicians and the German romantic musicians and the German 20th century composers, they just were excellent. They had the perfect balance in their society to create these masterpieces which just aren't paralleled, in my opinion, by any other country's composers so consistently. So the language of Romanticism, of Schumann, of Schubert, of late Beethoven, of Liszt, of Wagner, of Mahler, of Brahms, it's just a Wolf, such a rich demographic of composers in such a short time. It's just made to set this poetry in this super expressive way, but in a simple way. It's just song, and I think we saw that with the Eisler yesterday. Like, something so simple can be so moving, and hopefully if you're new to Lieder, or if you like Lieder and have wanted to learn more, you'll agree with that whilst it's this rich field, we can really explore and discover and analyse and find out so much complexity. On the base level, it is just music that is fun to listen to, fun to play, fun to sing, and enjoyable. It's music which packs an emotional punch because it comes in small parcels. It's music that can be performed in any kind of setting so long as there's a piano and two people. It's music that was designed to be listened to when people were having a good time, having a drink, having a nice meal. It's music that it was designed to be playable and singable, and so much of it is. It's music that allowed women to compose and actually have their work viewed. It's music that young singers at college can have a go at because the big opera arias don't quite work, but they can still explore being artists. It's music that has inspired piano reimaginings or orchestral blowings up of, and you know, to me that it is just a wonderful area. Any kind of art song is, but to have such a rich repertoire in such a short period of time is just a real gift. So hopefully you've enjoyed the 26 days as much as I have. We've had ups and downs, good voice days, bad voice days. Last few days have been quite bad voice days, but I've decided I'm going to end with a performance. Genevieve had kindly agreed to record this piano part for me, and I was going to try and do some digital duetting, but rather than make the last day of this a battle with technology, I decided to give my best performance on the piano that I can of Strauss's Zueignung. So as if there's a song that begins with Z, what luck. And this was one of the first ones I knew. It's a brilliant song to open or close a recital. It's from his Opus 10, a set of 8 songs, almost all of which are fantastic and still, you know, stand above so many others in his repertoire. People love performing them. They're early for Strauss, but there is a really brilliant youthfulness in them, a great exuberance, and it really captures that thing that Lieder is it fixes on an emotional identity to the poem and it delivers it in swathes. So I'm going to try and do this whole video as a one-taker. It might be that I end up cutting and we have a little cross dissolve from now until I go over there, but let's hope not. Thank you so much for watching. Next, I'm going to take a little bit of time to kind of broaden my own horizons with how I'm analysing things and how I'm talking about things, but my idea is to do a project very similar to this. If you're interested, keep an eye on the channel, keep an eye on Twitter. I might do a few videos just performing bits and bobs over the next couple of weeks, and then my plan is to do a deep dive into Schubert as a composer of Lieder, and to do that take a look at each year of his life, each day composing. So I'll try and fill in a little bit of background about what he as a person was doing, and then we'll choose a single song to unpack in detail whilst alluding to some others. And the idea will be that I'll be choosing songs that are a bit less well known amidst his repertoire, with the occasional exception to that, just to keep it, you know, some won't be able to be ignored. And hopefully by that we'll see the kind of development of Schubert as a Lieder composer. We'll see just how incredible the achievement of his repertoire was in his life, and maybe we'll even refer to some works outside of Lieder so we can really kind of get to know him. So yeah, that's going to take a little bit of research and delving for me, so I'm going to go away and do that. Before that though, here's our final day. Thanks for watching Strauss's Zueignung.